The topics and opinions expressed in the following show are solely those of the hosts and their guests and not those of W4CY Radio, its employees, or affiliates. We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our web. No liability, explicit or implied, shall be extended to W4CY Radio or its employees or affiliates. Any questions or comments should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for choosing W4CY Radio.
Draw me close to you, never let me go. I lay it all down again to hear you say that I'm a friend.
Good day. The Almighty Creator desires a deep personal relationship with you. My name is James Robertson. I'm a researcher, publisher, and teacher regarding the matters and truths of the Almighty Creator, whose true name is Yah, the eternally self-existing. I've been actively serving him since 1993, over 31 years. If you're not actively serving Yah, then by default you're serving Satan. My objective is to show you how you can make a big difference on earth and qualify for a position of high esteem in heaven for eternity. It's important to understand that as a believer, just being good is not the point. It's relationship with Yah that counts. Without this, you will be in a very unpleasant place in heaven with no way out. My aim is to show you how to get close to Father. If you're a good person without a clear relationship with Yah, then you're in a spiritual no man's land, and you will not enter heaven when you die. The Creator has said regarding unbelievers, why would I want someone to spend eternity with me when they do not believe I exist? Yah is calling everybody on the planet to be involved and serve him and help him to have victory over Satan. My goal is to show you how to do this. Fundamentally, we each need to learn to see things on earth from Yah's perspective, and my aim is to teach you how. Please visit my website at www.endtimeissueministries.org or email me on james@endtimeissueministries.org. Today we're going to talk about Satan, the contest, and the current spiritual dispensation. Overview. It said that the Creator is loving, merciful, gentle, forgiving, slow to anger, and has many other positive attributes. But the world is a mess with wars, disease, poverty running rampant on the earth. Something doesn't add up. So what is really going on? And then finally, we'll look at the state of your relationship with the Creator. So this is based on the article 2024-0809, Satan, the contest, and the current spiritual dispensation. As I said a moment ago, the Father has these wonderful attributes. He's loving, he's merciful, he's gentle, he's oft forgiving, he's slow to anger, and so forth. And yet the world is such a mess. It doesn't add, it doesn't compute, does it? So what's really going on? What I'm going to share with you in the next few minutes is discussed in detail on the website and the page, the essence of my message regarding history, our world today, the real facts. I'm going to give you an overview now. So in summary, why are we here? The Almighty was lonely, so he set out to create intelligent beings to be his friends. Millions of years ago, the Creator, whose true name is Yah, the eternally self-existing, because he has always existed, was lonely and decided to create beings who he could have dialogue with, who were intelligent, were creative, had reasoning ability, could make decisions, and so forth. You may say to me, how do you know? Well, there are a couple of answers to that. First of all, if you understand creation at some even basic level, the universe, the solar system, the earth, the plants, the animals, us, it required a huge amount of intelligent effort to create all of this. Why did he go to all this trouble? And then he put us in the middle of it. There's only one reason, folks. There's only one plausible explanation. He was lonely and he wanted friends. But then he told me that, so I'm cheating. But that's really why we're here. And almost nobody understands that, and almost nobody is making an effort to become his friend. They think he's this big ogre, vengeful. No. He's your Abba Daddy. That is, if you believe in him and you have some vague relationship with him. But he doesn't talk to me. Whose fault is that? You're not listening. If you make up your mind to hear him and clean out your spiritual ears and get rid of all your spiritual defilement, you will hear him because he wants to talk to you. The only reason you exist is to talk to him, have a conversation with him, to dialogue with him. But we get so wrapped up in this messed up world of ours and trying to eke out an existence that we either lose sight of it or we never had sight of it. So I say again, he wants you to become his friend, not the person on the left or the right or above or below or in front or behind. He wants you to become his friend. He wants to be involved in your job or your business. He wants to be involved in your life. He wants to be involved in your family. He wants to be involved in your children. He wants to be involved in your gardening. He wants to be involved in your cake baking. He wants to be involved in whatever it is you're doing all day, every day. He enjoys inventing things. He enjoys making things. So if you enjoy turning bowls on a lathe, he wants to be part of that. If you enjoy designing sophisticated buildings, he wants to be part of that too. It doesn't matter what it is that you do, apart from some evil things that he does nothing to do with, he wants to be part of your life. And it doesn't matter whether you're rich or poor, intelligent or not, educated or not, whether you're Jewish or Muslim or Christian or Buddhist or whatever, even a Satanist, a witch, warlock, he wants you to become his friend. He'll meet you wherever you are, and we'll talk more about that. So because he was lonely, he needed to create somewhere for these intelligent beings to live. So he created the universe, and then he created multiple solar systems, and then he created multiple suitable planets, and he finally got to Earth. So in the creative process, he created the universe, all the stars. I mean, if you look at the photos from the Hubble Space Telescope, I mean, it's just amazing. There's millions and millions of stars. It's millions and millions of suns, millions of solar systems. And on that, there are numerous planets suitable for life. So the people who say there might be life out there are half correct. And you need to understand that before he started all this, Father had never done it before. So it was a learning process for him, and he made mistakes. And that was fine by him because he was the boss. So he took a planet and he worked with the environment and he worked with the plants and animals, etc., and it didn't work out quite the way he wanted. So then he came to another one, and he came to another one, and he came to another one. So if you believe that there are other planets out there that can support life, you're completely correct. However, he finally got to Earth and was able to create us in a way that was satisfactory to him and pleasing to him. So then he stopped. So as far as I understand things, there are other planets that can support life, but you're not going to find intelligent life there. It's important to note that he created the periodic table of the elements, the all the different elements, the gold, the bronze, when the bronze is a compound, the gold, the silver, the earth, the oxygen, the hydrogen, the carbon, all of those things. He had to design the entire periodic table, all the different, I forget what they're called, neutrons and what have you, microscopic particles, the things that make everything up. He had to create all of those different variants before he could create matter. So if you're saying there can't be a creator, just look at the periodic table of the elements, say that had to be in place before any matter came into existence. How can you say there's no creator? And then he created plants and then animals, and he was about to create human beings. So he systematically created plants and animals until he was ready to create human beings. And that also took place in an evolutionary manner. So he would create an animal and say, well, I like that, I don't like that, or I'll do more of this, I'll do more of that. But there's a catch. DNA, dioxynucleonic, whatever, DNA had to be in existence and had to be designed before he could create plants and animals, because DNA defines the whole model of what I look like as a human being and what that tree over there looks like and so forth. So again, there couldn't be any life before there was DNA. So how on earth can you tell me that there is no creator? So he created, concurrent with all this, and early on, I'm kind of jumping around a bit here, he created spirit beings to help him, which you probably know as angels, but angels is one of these meaningless religious words. They're actually messengers. They are servants. But something went wrong. He created 3 armies of messengers. The commander of one of these was Hillel, the light bearer. The other 2 were Michael and Gabriel. You might have heard of them, Michael and Gabriel, El being my beloved mighty one, the short form of Elohim. But due to a manufacturing defect, pride entered in and Hillel rebelled and challenged Yah. Remember what I said, he'd never done this before. So he created all these messengers, and something went wrong with the one group, the one leader in particular, Hillel, light bearer. And he rebelled. He challenged Yah. He said to Yah, if you put me on earth. So, hold that thought. That gave rise to something called the context. So Yah had a policy that if he created something and it didn't work, he just threw it into the lake of fire and brimstone, which is effectively the incinerator, and it was immediately destroyed. So Yah is the correct name of the creator, by the way. Yah was about to cast Hillel and those who followed him in his rebellion into the lake of fire and brimstone, the incinerator. And Hillel challenged Yah to a contest in simple terms. Hillel said, send me to earth with my followers, and I wager that after 7,000 years, not one of these human beings you're about to create will believe you exist. Put yourself in Yah's position. He's gone to all this trouble, created all of this. He's planning to create these human beings to be his friend, the absolute pinnacle of millions of years of creativity. And don't get me wrong, folks, this was not all created in 7 periods of 24 hours. The word created day in Genesis is an indeterminate period of time. It is not a 24-hour day, and it is mechanically, physically impossible for it to be created in 24 hours because of the inertia forces of spinning out the planets, etc. It just couldn't happen, and there was no reason to. He'd been there forever, and he was going to be there. He is going to be there forever. What did it matter to him if this took 1,000,000 years or a year or 100 years or 1,000 years or whatever? It made no difference to him. He could take it at the pace that suited him. I've heard people say, yes, but he's the creator. He can do whatever he likes. He also created the laws of physics, folks, and he's not going to break the laws of physics in order to create the universe in 24 hours. And as I just said, there's absolutely no earthly reason, or no reason whatsoever, why he would want to do that. And how do I know that Hillel said that? Well, again, Yah told me. So send me to earth with my followers, and I wager that after 7,000 years, not one of these human beings you're about to create will believe you exist. Well, we're a bit over 6,000 years now, folks. And I'll talk more about that in a minute. But this gave rise to something that Yah calls the contest between Yah and Hillel, who became Satan, the accuser. And you can't understand what's happening on earth unless you understand what I'm talking about now. So Yah accepted the challenge. Yah said to me, he was angry, he was frustrated, he was really irritated by Hillel's behavior. So he accepted the challenge. He couldn't visualize how Hillel could win the challenge. And so they sat down, metaphorically, and drew up some detailed rules of engagement. And Hillel, now called Satan accuser, was cast out to earth with billions of messengers under his command at roughly the same time that Adam and Lilith, Adam's first wife, were created. Two of the key terms of the rules of engagement were that both of them had to work through human beings. So neither Yah nor Satan can do anything on earth except they work through a living human being. And neither of them can provide information to a living human being unless the living human being first gives them permission by asking a question or similar. So Yah can't just come up to you and say, Joe, by the way, you're out of line here. This is not the way things are. He has to hope that Joe will fast and say, Father, I'm fasting for truth. I'm asking you to answer my questions. And then Yah can start answering his questions, but he's got to ask the questions. Or you've got to have somebody like me who's done that and read my writings and watch my videos and recordings and so forth. It's quite a hair-raising thing when you actually start to understand what we're dealing with here. So then Satan started to corrupt human beings. Satan and his followers set to work corrupting humankind, and in the process, Satan tricked Adam into handing all authority on earth to himself, to Satan. So you ask, how did he do that? So Yah created Adam. He said, have dominion over everything on the earth, including Satan. Satan works through a serpent, snake, tricks Eve, Chava, Adam's second wife. Lilith, the first wife, ran away after Satan into eating the fruit. Gives some of the fruit to Adam. Adam takes a bite. Now, I really want you to get this, folks. That one bite of that forbidden fruit, remember that Yah told them that they could eat the fruit of every tree in the garden except that fruit, that tree, the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. One bite, one little sin, one act of rebellion brought about the entire messed up state of the world today. So next time you think, well, it's just a little sin, think about Adam and cut it out. So the Satanic armies were so successful that after 1,500 years, only Noah and his son Shem and their respective wives still believed in the Creator. And Noah prayed for Yah to destroy the unbelievers with a flood. See the article more about the flood, proof of a global flood, complete video on the website. Now, the thing to get here is Yah couldn't do anything on earth unless some human being first asked for it. So a conversation took place, something along the following lines. Noah says to Yah, I'm so grieved by the messed up state of the world. Look at all these people, idolatry, ancestor worship, etc., etc. And Yah says, well, as far as I can see, the only way to do it is to destroy them and start again. Just preserve you and Shem and your wives. And Noah says, yes, I think that's a good idea. How are you going to do that? Yah says, you ask me to destroy them and I'll bring a flood. And so Noah says, Father, I ask you to bring a flood and drown all these people. Help me to survive. Not necessarily a verbatim record of the conversation, but it was along those lines. How do I know? Because Yah told me. So you know about the flood, and that's a whole different story. And for those of you who are interested, I'll be teaching at 12 GMT tomorrow on Zoom on the flood. Drop me a line if you're interested, or go to the website and look up weekly teachings, and you'll get the link there. So the corruption continues to this day. So much so that Father says that this generation is the most evil generation that has ever lived, exceeding the evil of those before the flood. Now, a couple of things to note. Noah and Shem and their wives were the only 4 believers left on earth at the time of the flood. Japheth, Noah's son, and his family were idolaters, and Ham and his family were ancestor worshippers or demon worshippers. And Yah was going to destroy Japheth and Ham. And Noah said, they're my sons, Father. When they see what you're going to do, I'm sure they'll believe. And Father said, oh, okay, well, I'm not really keen, but take them along. And they came along, and guess what? They didn't believe. So Japheth raised up a clan of idolaters, and Ham raised up a clan of ancestor worshippers, demon worshippers. An ancestor is a human being who has died as an unbeliever. And to add things to this, there were 7 demonic masterminds, some of the first unbelievers, who were already ruling the earth with Satan and advising him. Because remember, a human being who's been dead for a few 100 years or 1,000 years knows a hang of a lot about what works to get human beings to sin. And so those 7 masterminds just before the flood said, there's something going on here, we'd better jump on Ham. So they jumped on Ham. And they came through the flood. And they rule on earth till today. So that's the reason the world's such a mess, folks. Adam handed control to the satanic and demonic realm, and the satanic and demonic realm are ruling on earth even today. Then fast forward 2,000 years from the flood, 2,500 years from the flood, and Yeshua, Jesus, but don't call him Jesus, he doesn't like it, it's a pagan name, lived without sin and died to initiate a new covenant. This was about just over 2,000 years ago. The spirit that became Yahushua was the first spirit being created by Yah right at the beginning of creation. And there's a whole story there which I don't have time to share with you now. He came to earth as a human being called Yahushua, meaning Yah is salvation. And by living and dying without sin, he ushered in a new covenant to afford true believers an offering for forgiveness of sin, new high priest, and a new covenant. See the article on the website, The Miraculous Planning of the Death of Yeshua, Where, How, and What. Fast forward to May 2003. Part of the deal with Satan was that if at the end of 6,000 years there was not a believer in right standing with Yah, free of sin, Satan would take control of the earth at that point. And if there wasn't, Satan would be cast into the pit, the sort of inner sanctum of the heavenly jail for 1,000 years. That happened on the 3rd of May 2003, and Satan is going to be there until around about May 3003, 978 years from now. So Satan was arrested, brought before the court of heaven, charged with crimes against humanity and against Yah, and sentenced to 1,000 years in the pit as per Revelation 20 verse 3. See the article, Satan sentenced to 1,000 years in the pit on the 3rd of May 2003. So what we have now is Satan's in the pit, and the 7 demonic masterminds are ruling on earth. They're seeking to outdo the other, one to another with their evil schemes. They're all human ancestor spirits from the first demons dating back to before the flood. See the article, Satan rules the world through the leadership of demonic masterminds and human Satan servants. Folks, the key point here is that the evil on earth is not the malevolent machinations of human beings. It's the evil machinations of the demonic and satanic realm working through human beings. And the thing to understand is a lot of the evil on earth comes through people who are believers or sort of believers. So the war in Gaza is between Jewish believers and Muslim believers. They're both in significant error. They're both in significant sin. And they're fighting with each other. Hitler was a believer. Second World War was between believers. Churchill was a believer. Many of the other leaders were believers. So please step back. The world is not populated with human beings who are following all sorts of evil agendas. It is populated with human beings who are populated with demons who are following evil agendas. Focus your attention on the demons and the demonic and fight them because you can. So we're in a situation where the Almighty has said the true belief will die out in about 100 years, and this is a major revival in all truth. God said that in the absence of a major revival in all truth within the next few years, true believers will die out within 100 years. See the article, Will You Initiate a Revival with Me? So concluding this article, this is the time for you to make a difference. It's time for you to draw really close to Father Yah and to take the measures necessary to help bring revival to the earth. See the article, 7 components in growing close to Yah. If you go to the top of the website, in the top left-hand corner, there's a little label Home, and to the right of Home, there's a little triangular arrow. Just hover over that and you'll get a list, and one of the documents there is 7 components of drawing close to the Almighty. So I encourage you to download that and to really start seeking Father, because it is entirely within your gift to get super filled with the Spirit of Yah, to get totally free of sin, and to initiate a revival wherever you are. As I said earlier, it's not the person to the left, right, up, down, front, back, whatever of you. It's you I'm talking to. Father wants you to become his friend. He wants you to climb his mountain and get really close to him. And it's absolutely doable. An associate of mine who's been walking with me for about 6 years had a dramatic anointing experience a couple of days ago. He's been working towards that for 6 years. It's not trivial, folks, but it's there. It's there for you. Fast, pray, sanctify yourself, read my teachings, put them into practice. It's a lot you can do. I'm going to touch on another article, 2024-0810, prayers to cast out demons and for protection from the satanic and demonic realm. As we've seen in the preceding article, the satanic and demonic forces dominate and control the world. So how do you get free? Since creation, over 100 billion human beings have died as unbelievers and become ancestor spirits, in other words, demons. Barring a minute number of strong believers who are strongly walking free of sin and have repeatedly prayed the appropriate prayers, every other human being is carrying any number of demons. Believers are particularly prone to carry demons, as the satanic and demonic realm does everything possible to destroy or at least disempower believers, such that most wars are fought between competing believers, as I said a minute ago. Folks, so it's really important to get a fix on this. So there's over 10 demons to every human being on the planet today. Now, some have got few demons because they're so in error and whatever that they don't really need to worry about them, and others have got hundreds and even thousands of demons. A high-end witch or warlock or Satanist, witch doctor, can potentially have thousands of demons because they invite them in. So somebody dies, they take the spirit of that person and they invite them to come and live with them. They come and invite. The thing about a true Satanist, an illuminated one, is that they invited the demons to dwell in them in the space reserved for the set apart, the Holy Spirit of Yah. Those people are really controlled by the demons. There are demon-possessed people and there are demon-oppressed people. The vast majority are oppressed. A small minority of committed Satanists are possessed. So important to understand that demons are disembodied human spirits, humans who died without belief in the Creator. The satanic forces are made up of messengers, angels, as I've just said, who followed Satan when he rebelled. Every believer has a satanic messenger assigned to them whose job it is to watch them and report sins that are suitable for seeking judgment and report on action they take that is to the benefit of the satanic and demonic realm. See the article, The Essence of My Message, read the satanic and demonic. The counterpoint to that is that Yahushua, the anointed of Yah, incorrectly called Jesus Christ, lived a life free of sin and died a terrible death in order to regain authority over the satanic and demonic realm, which he then delegated to believers. See the article, The Miraculous Planning of the Death of Yeshua, Where, How, and What. So, folks, it's really important to get a fix on this. Yahushua was the first human being who ever lived his entire life without committing a single sin. Because he had not committed a single sin, and he died without committing a sin, even despite the terrible way he was treated. He was immediately resurrected because death had no place for him. He went to death and death said, hey, you've got no sin, I don't have a place for you. So he went straight to heaven. He didn't mosey around for 3 days. He went straight to heaven. He said to the thief on the stake next to him, this day you will be with me in paradise. And he gained authority, and he gave that authority to those who believe and live without sin and exercise that authority. You can have the authority to deal with demons. You need to work at it. So accordingly, for true believers, there's a way to get free of demons. First of all, overcome sin. See the article, What is Required to Live Above Sin. Speak to whatever demons are attached to you in the name of Yahushua. You speak to them in the name of Yahushua because Yahushua has the authority and you are operating in his delegated authority. I speak to all demons which are attached to me and which have no legal right to be attached to me, and in the name of Yahushua, I bind you and command you to leave me now and go where Father Yah sends you. Father, in the name of Yeshua, I thank you that you send your mighty warring messengers to bind, tear down, cast out, and send where you want to go, the demons that I've named. Generally, most people have layers of demons, so you'll likely have to pray this a number of times before those demons are all gone. There's much more information in the article, 7 Components in Growing Close to Yah, including guidance on undertaking a spiritual audit of your life. And I told you a minute ago, under home, top left of the website, you'll find that article. A lot of demons will not leave unless, no, let me rephrase. Demons will not leave if you've given them a legal right. So if you have sin in your life, the demons associated with that specific sin will stay on you until you deal with the sin, repent of the sin, get free, take the bread and wine of the covenant of Yeshua, and say, Father, I thank you that you forgive me my sin of pride, or my sin of lust, or my sin of lying, or stealing, or whatever. And then you can speak to the spirit of lust, or the spirit of, or spirits of lust, or stealing, or lying, or whatever, and say, in the name of Yeshua, the prayer that I've just prayed. So I speak to the lying spirit now in the name of Yeshua. I bind you, command you to leave me now and go where Father Yah sends you. Father, in the name of Yeshua, I thank you that you send your mighty warring messengers to bind, tear down, cast out, and send where you want to go, the demons that I've named. You will likely have more deeply established demons as a consequence of bloodline curses or sin you committed earlier in your life that you've forgotten about and which give them a legal right to be on you. You have to deal with the legal rights before they will leave. Pray and ask Father to reveal whatever legal rights may be operating in your life so that you can pray in the name of Yeshua to repent and cut off those legal rights. For example, in the case of a bloodline curse, you might say, Father, in the name of Yeshua, I come against the curse of whatever the name that's been revealed to you that is operating over my life. I renounce associated beliefs that may be shown to you, confess any sin you have been shown associated with that curse. And I ask you, Father, in the name of Yeshua, to cut off the curse and send your mighty warring messengers to bind, tear down, cast out, and send where you want to go the demons that you've named. I read a report many years ago in a book, In the Name of Satan. I forget the author's name. Of a young woman on her 21st birthday tried to throw herself off a high bridge and commit suicide. It turned out that something like 7 or 14 generations earlier, her ancestors had committed the firstborn of that generation to die to Satan on the 21st birthday. It's powerful stuff, folks. Don't underestimate the satanic and demonic operating in your life. I had to go through a lot of deliverance, and when I thought I was clear, I still had bloodline curses, etc., which required a very experienced minister to get rid of. Note that you also likely have learned behaviors from your demons, such as pride, fear, and so on. The same basic principle applies. If you detect pride, then speak to the spirit of pride. So in the name of Yeshua, I speak to the spirit of pride, or spirits of pride. I bind you, I tear you down, I cast you out, and I command you to go where Father Yah sends you, and so forth. Some of those behaviors could be very ingrained. So pride is not something that you easily get rid of. The thing is, once you start to understand pride, you can become more alert to it, and every time pride manifests, you say, in the name of Yeshua, etc. As I said, the layers, so you get rid of the lightweight demon that's manifesting pride, and those that are sort of hunkered down stay behind. So again and again and again until you finally get free. Bear in mind, it took your ancestors years to get to a place where they had the load of demons that they could pass on to you when they died. And there's a thing about if a person with a whole lot of demons dies, so then their demons jump off them onto whoever they can find to jump onto, which will typically be the son or the daughter or the grandson or the granddaughter. Or maybe the brother, but more likely to be the descendant. You can also apply the blood of the covenant. Yeshua said, remember, This is my blood of the new covenant, shed for you and for many for forgiveness of sin. Do this as oft as you drink it, as in remembrance. You can take that once a day. You can take it twice a day. I've gone through periods where I've done that and other periods where I haven't taken it for months, but I generally have a container of red grape juice in the refrigerator at all times, so that if I feel the need to take the covenant meal, the bread and the wine as mandated by Yeshua, I have it there to hand. You can take the blood and pray for it to cover you, to protect you from demons. I recommend a sanctification, a cleansing process whereby you actually get in the shower naked with a cup of grape juice and you red grape juice, and you say, Father, I ask that this grape juice represents the blood of the covenant. And then you literally massage that grape juice into everything. You pour it on your head, you rub it in, you gently put it on your eyebrows, in your ears, your hands, your mouth, your lips, your private parts, everywhere. And you pray, cleanse me of all defilement, because the demons don't like the blood, because the blood is a representation of the authority of Yeshua. And you can say, James, that really sounds crazy. You stand in the blood in the shower and you pour grape juice over yourself. Yeah. And then once I've done that, I take olive oil and I pray over that to represent the anointing of the Spirit of Yah, and then I pour that over myself and rub it all in as well. And then I go and immerse in a swimming pool 3 times. Or if I don't have a swimming pool, in a domestic bath. There's all sorts of things on my website that you might regard as extreme. But folks, you need to understand we live in a extreme situation. See the relevant articles on prayer in the article, The Essence of My Message regarding prayer. So it's time now for you to get free. There's a lot more information in the article, The Essence of Cleansing and Deliverance, about what I've talked about. It's entirely possible for you to get free. It's entirely possible for you to live free of sin, and I challenge you to start seeking that. So I'd like to wrap up by asking you, what is the state of your relationship with the Almighty Creator? I'd like to ask you to critically examine where you are relative to Him today. Do you talk to Him constantly throughout the day and allow Him to lead you in every possible way? I'm talking about a dialogue, folks. Do you worship Him at every opportunity? Have you clearly and unambiguously heard Him call you friend? If not, you're failing in your life purpose and you'll be bitterly disappointed when you die. If you have now come to belief, please pray along the following lines. Father Yah, I come to you in the name of Yahushua. I now believe that you exist. I confess my sin of unbelief and repent of my unbelief, and I ask you to forgive my sin. I now commit my life to you, and I ask you to take me by the hand and lead me into deep personal relationship with you. I ask you to fill me with your Spirit and to change me and help me to become the person you want me to become. I ask you to help me find people who can help me and help me find books, websites, articles, and other resources that will help me. I ask you to show me what I can do to actively serve you and lead others to deep personal relationship with you. I thank you for saving me. There's a period of 8 days from sincerely coming to belief for the first time, during which there is extreme grace to help you. See the article, Critical Actions on First Belief, for actions you should take immediately. And then drop me an email on james@endtimeissueministries.org so I can help you, pray with you, counsel you, etc. In closing, thank you for listening. Please send me your questions to james@endtimeissueministries.org. Please email me to join the mailing list at james@endtimeissueministries.org. If you decide to draw close to the Almighty, please let me know, and I will connect with you by Skype, Zoom, Teams, email, WhatsApp, or telephone so that I can help you with your journey. I hope to connect with you again next week when I will continue to explore how to become a friend of the Creator. Work with me to make a way for Yahushua to return in victory at the end of the millennium and make his enemies his footstool. Folks, I say again, the Almighty Creator desires for you to become his friend. Rich or poor, thin or fat, short or tall, educated, uneducated. Muslim, Jew, Christian, Buddhist, yoga, whatever, witch, warlock, Satanist. He wants you to become his friend. He'll meet you wherever you are. And if you ask him, he'll take you by the hand and gently lead you. Pray the prayer that I shared a minute ago, or something like it. Just go to him, get on your knees, get on your face on the floor and say, Father, I'm so sorry I didn't believe you existed, and now I believe you exist. Please forgive me, help me to get my life right with you. He wants you to be his friend. He doesn't want you doing whatever it is you're doing and ignoring him. He wants to be part of everything you do. And it's available to you, and it's a fantastic experience. It's a fantastic opportunity. And if you do that, you will qualify for a high throne in heaven for eternity. So for those of you who've been on the channel for a while, I guess you're going to drop off now. For those of you who are here for the first or second time, please hang on. I've got something I want to share with you. So for those who are leaving, I'm going to say good night. For the rest of you, in closing, who am I? James Robertson. I have a doctorate in engineering, and I'm a retired military commander. I now work as a management consultant. I have over 31 years' experience of actively seeking to draw close to the Almighty, following a dramatic encounter with him on the 12th of March 1993, when he spoke to me audibly in a locked room, and I knew for certain that he was real. In learning about Father, I applied my deep-seated aversion to failure born out of an accident in early childhood, coupled to my engineering and military training of rigor in preventing failure, to my seeking of knowledge about Father. This journey led to numerous supernatural experiences, prayers answered, and clear communication with the Creator that forms the basis for what I teach in these programs. See the video Why Seek Relationship for an overview of what I believe. Please visit my website at www.endtimeissueministries.org. The ETI version of the Bible with correction of translation errors is under the ETI Bible version page. For recordings of nearly all of the teachings broadcast so far, search on Google for Relationship with Creator Radio in quotes, and see also the website relationshipwithcreatorradio.com. Transcripts are on the transcripts of broadcast page. Books with teachings from 1998 till May 2019 are on the books for printing page. I publish regular email articles. Email me on james@endtimeissueministries.org to be added to the list, or to seek counsel, prayer, or give me feedback. Visit the website and use the Google search, article, keyword, cloud, table of contents, and article search to locate the information you're looking for. Folks, there's a wealth of information there. The keyword cloud, lots and lots of keywords, alphabetic, easy to find, table of contents, all the web pages, article search, large number of articles. So that's it for now, folks. I'm out of time, and I'm going to say to you good night, or good day, wherever it is. I guess in some parts of the world it's still morning. So you have a great, however much of the day you've got left, and I hope to see you again next Friday, same time. Thank you so much.
Father, I come to you, lifting up my hands. By your grace I stand, just because you love me. I know your favor.
Hi, I'm James Robertson. Do you understand Satan and the contest and the current spiritual dispensation? Do you understand what's really happening in the world around you? If you're not sure, then please listen to my broadcast on w4cy.com internet radio, or talk4tv.com internet TV. Also, visit my website at www.endtimeissueministries.org, and my other website, www.relationshipwithcreatorradio.com for back issues of my broadcasts, or email me on james@endtimeissueministries.org to find out more. I look forward to hearing from you. Thanks so much.